How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Fast Fox Garage. My name is Milo. Behind the camera is Vander. We're going to be your hosts today. This is the first video that I'm trying to do, and normally here at Fast Fox Garage we are dealing with cars. This is not a car. For those of you not really familiar with cars, this is not quite a car. But this is my new to me Allis Chalmers WD. It's a 1951. I just bought it from a farm up in Tennessee, and she's a little crusty, but in order to have land here to have our shop and all the stuff that we do, kind of have to have some equipment to handle everything that goes on here, including that field over there which needs to get mowed. So that's the plan for this thing. Today I am going to be just doing a service on it. I just bought the thing, and anytime I buy something old, I like to just kind of go through it. I know the engine oil is good, but I'm pretty sure the transmission here is full of water. So the plan today is we're gonna get everything clean. She's soaking in degreaser right now, so we're gonna give it a good bath and then drain the hydraulic tank, the transmission, and probably the rear end, and try to give her some new fresh oil that is not chocolate milkshake. Making sure to not pour water directly down the fucking shifter that's just loose and doesn't have a good seal anymore. Okay, so got the tractor all cleaned up, and concern right now is I'm pretty sure that the transmission and PTO, all that kind of stuff, has a lot of water in it. So did some digging. I don't know anything about these tractors. I've never worked on them. So I took the battery box off, and this is my cover for the transmission. I might also pull the shifter cover off, because this shifter it's not supposed to do that. So I might dig into that, I don't know. But anyway, I want to pull this cover off so we can take a look down in the transmission, see how everything looks, and then we're gonna go from there. That was really loose. I didn't have to put any pressure onto that. That's a theme for this tractor so far. A lot of the bolts on it are just very loose, which is definitely what you want. You want to know what would be smart is if I use the impact that I have. A really nice steering mount stabilizer thing. I'm gonna find some way to replace that and not have to use it. I don't even think it's doing anything, to be honest. Now this is going to be the fun one. Thank you, Allis Chalmers. Wondering if it makes more sense to just take this line off quick. I'm going to take that line off, because otherwise I'm going to be here all day. And yes, I am using an adjustable wrench. If you use adjustable wrenches right, which right now I'm not, if you use them right, they work. I should probably also get a drip tray. The sweet smell of hydraulic fluid, I hate it. I'd be more concerned about this leaking everywhere if I wasn't about to drain all of this. She's leaking a lot. Is there pressure behind it? Okay. I don't know why it's leaking that much. That's weird. I don't know what to do. I could drain everything out first and then take it off, but I'd rather look at the state of things as they sit. People are gonna watch this and be like, dude, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're doing. They would be correct. Cue all the boomers trying to look at new cars, being like, oh, engineers nowadays make everything so hard to work on. This thing's from 1950. They could have easily routed this line over here, like around the bolt, but no. That would make too much sense. Okay. So we're not dropping a ton of this down there. Time to see some carnage. That's a clutch. Do you like vanilla milkshake by any chance? Got a little bit of water in her. Yeah. See all the milkshake down there? That's definitely what you want to see.
Tasty.
Pretty cool getting to see that in live action. Everything in there seems in decent shape. Gears look to be pretty decent though. I just think it's a lot lower on fluid than it should be, considering the yeah, so you can see the fluid's all the way down there, and the check port is a good bit higher. Yeah, so you got all your fluid way down there, and this is your check port. It's supposed to be coming out of that when this thing's full. She's a little low. Alright, so help if I went the right way. First thing we're gonna do is drain the PTO, which is the cover that I just pulled off. So this is gonna be disgusting. Yeah. That's what you want your gear oil to look like, definitely. That is also definitely the amount of gear oil that you want to see. I think this thing is supposed to take something like a gallon. That's not a gallon. Also, this oil was already in here, so don't be fooled. This thing's all pure milkshake. I guess while I'm here, I will try to drain. I think this is the hydraulic fluid tank. Oh, she is on there. Fuck. There we go. Would help if I had my bigger adjustable, but I left it in my barn like an idiot. If I'm understanding what this is correctly, it should be a little more clean. Yeah, there we go. So that's all my hydraulic fluid, which also looks like it was pretty low. That is a lovely mixture of stuff. Buying old equipment is a very enjoyable process. To be fair though, I guess I'll be clear. This thing is as rough as it is, but I still got a 36 horse tractor for 1,800 bucks, and it runs and drives. How long it'll run and drive for though, it's kind of that's the question. Oh, this one's a magnet. It's actually pretty clean. No chunks or anything, so that's good. We like to see that. While I'm here and I have this, I'm probably going to flush some diesel through the transmission and PTO to get the rest of this milkshake that's all in there cleaned out. Just because I don't want to be putting fresh fluid in here while it's that dirty. Yeah, let's get some diesel and do that while we got it draining. Alright, so for those of you that are maybe more familiar with the car side of things, just using some like plain old regular diesel is a decent way to get cases like this cleaned out. It's still enough of a solvent that it'll clean out any like remaining gunk and stuff that's in there, but it's not gonna, it's still got enough lubricant in it, I guess. I'm probably making an ass of myself talking like this, but it's still got enough lubricant in it that if there's some of it left in there, it's not gonna like ruin anything. So I'm just trying to get all these gears cleaned off to get, and then the bottom of this case to get any of that sludge out. Because unfortunately I can't really reach down there. But that looks pretty good. A lot better than it was. Gears are all pretty clean. Smells like diesel now. Now the fun is, I don't really know where the next drain plug is. We're somewhere back here. There it is. Gotta get off. Of course, my drawbar is right in the way. Or sorry, snap coupler brackets are right in the fucking way. Oh, I probably shouldn't be cursing. Probably gonna have to go get a socket. Oh, she's turning. The not fun part is this is gonna pour all straight down onto my snap coupler. And there's going to be oil going everywhere. We love that. And my hat came off. Don't show the people the hat. Ah! God, that is disgusting. The stuff that's coming out first is just straight water. So that's a problem. That is not what you want to see come out of the transmission of your tractor. That's good. Oh, yeah, that's disgusting. We love that. And yet again, this thing was way too empty. Look at all the gunk that's in there. That's just dirt. Like, this is a hollow drain plug, it's not magnetic, and it's just packed full of dirt. And maybe a gear tooth. Or is that a rock? I think that's a rock. That's just like shit. This is disgusting. This is not what you want in the transmission of your Allis Chalmers. Unless they're into that. I don't know. I don't think that they would be. I don't know what Allis is into. God, that's concerning. Unless they are connected and I just drain the transmission and then... I'm gonna go change my gloves. Go to the back and we're gonna drain the rear end. That's hopefully the last thing I'm gonna be doing on this today. Got one more big ass drain plug up here that is so caked in dirt that I can't even fit a wrench on it. Who pressure washed this thing right before they brought it in? Now it's all wet. What an idiot. Oh, that one's tight. Oh, shit. Okay. That one's pretty in there. The amount of crap that is caked on to the bottom of this transaxle just tells me like how long it's been since any of this has been done. Because it's like so caked over the drain plug that no one has touched this thing in years. Again, that's all water. Just straight pure water. Just all more, just disgusting. Look at this. More really disgusting, gross dirt caked into this drain plug. Which is probably why that's draining so slow. It's probably all of that shit's caked in this hole in here. Yep. Oh, that is disgusting. And again, there was just no fucking oil in there. There was just, like, between all of these, I think actually just between the clutch, or the PTO area, the transmission, and the rear end is supposed to be, I think like 18 quarts? That doesn't look like 18 quarts to me. So we were, and there, a lot of this is diesel and water. Blows my mind. Poor old Allie. She's been mistreated. And she dog. Hello, dog. She said, "You guys stink." I got a little ahead of myself and I already got one of the fill plugs out for the transmission area. And then now we're working on getting the fill plug for the rear end out. She's in there a little tight. I watched a guy's video of doing this, and he said after he already drained everything, he went to go show where these fill plugs were. And he said, before you ever drain anything, you should make sure you can actually access and remove these drain plugs. Would have been helpful to know before I got to it. Thankfully, the drain plugs all came out, or the fill plugs all came out okay, and then the hydraulic area one is just a little cap. So that one's nice and easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the drain plugs down on the bottom and reinstall those. And then we can get to filling. It's hard to tell if the stuff dripping into my eyes is dirt, oil, water, or sweat. That's why you don't use adjustable wrenches. The transmission, or the PTO side, will be the easiest because I can just pour it right into that cover where the clutch is, and then it's going to come out of this fill port over here when it's full. So I'm going to get the drain pan under there. And then, for anyone curious, if you're not familiar with how this works, this tractor is a wet clutch system. So that is why I am pouring hydraulic fluid directly onto the clutch pack. It's pretty different from how most things are, like Ford 8Ns and Massey Fergusons and stuff at the time. They were dry clutches, just like, you know, your normal cars are. But this guy is a wet clutch. So I think in the manual they call out to use 80-90, but for the purposes of this, I've heard a lot of people just run, this is just standard universal hydraulic fluid, pretty similar to John Deere 303 or old Allis 821. Okay, and we're coming out. Of course, like, you have all this room, and I still had to put these down in between the C-channel. And of course there's this aftermarket hydraulic line that's right in my way that somebody put on here. So much for keeping my hands clean. Okay, that one's on. Let's not spill my beer. Alright, now for the fun one, we're going to do the hydraulic oil tank, and this one's a little harder. I don't know how much it's supposed to take, and it does have a fill level, but I'm filling it through the dipstick hole, so we're gonna go slow. And shit, the arms fell. I'm supposed to do this with the arms up, so we're probably just gonna get this a little full and then get the tractor back together, lift the arms up, and then recheck the fluid. We won't go too crazy. Get that checked. If we're anywhere near it, but we actually might be there. A tad on the low side, but we're gonna check that one again once the arms are raised, because the fluid level will go up and we don't want this thing puking oil out of there. But we've got this other fill port back down in here, and I was hoping I could lock this thing. There we go. Perfect. My good funnel all bent up. I think that'll work. So this one's a little harder because it's going to be puking back out of this fill port that I'm filling it through. And it's also a little harder because I can't fit the bucket in through this area right here. So we're going to have to be doing that. And I'm just going to keep an eye on it and see when it comes out. Rear end's thirsty. Catching up. Yeah, this thing was a little low. I had maybe like 2 quarts come out of it. She's right there. Oh, look at that. Okay. They were not lying. I actually I think I spoke wrong. I think I said this takes 2.5 gallons. It actually took about 4.5 gallons, including the hydraulic tank. So this is a 2-gallon pan, I think, and probably a good half a gallon of that's diesel. So this thing was low. Would probably really explain why when I drove it around the field yesterday, the rear end was moaning. Let's just say that. I'll leave it at that. You can use your imagination to fill out the rest of that sentence as like a simile or something. Alright, so off camera. We got the cover for this cleaned up, and I made a really crappy gasket because the original gasket was all ripped up. Probably not going to be in here long term. It's just a solution to get us by. I would kind of rather use cork. I'd assume that they would have used cork from the factory, but I had this on hand and it will have to work for today. Don't worry, I'm not just sending bolts home with an impact. There, that thing's on low torque right now.
How many ugga-duggas were those bolts?
The manual says 3, but if you read the forums, the boomers all argue that 2 is better, and then some say, oh, you can go all the way up to 6. Depends on the gasket you're using, I think. Hydraulic line mover 6000. I can already tell we're gonna have to pry this gasket out of the way. I'm not gonna be able to use my power tools for this one. What am I gonna do? Oh no. How am I going to survive? The heat is getting to me, just like the camera. We're just having a lot of camera issues here today. Apparently, my cameraman's too hot. He just keeps cooking cameras. But, then the battery bracket back on. That was what I said earlier. And I couldn't get the one bolt all the way tight. We're just pulling that good. But considering that's how this thing is held in, I don't think it really freaking matters. The battery bracket has seen much better days. It's just like me. Her life support back. So I could have done this the sketchy way, but at least I'm gonna anger some people right now. You're damaging the battery posts. Still works. This slid back in, I think, maybe. Okay, Allis WD is back together. Give her a whirl. So much better already. These things used to clunk and rattle. Still maybe not quite the best, but we're not rattling around like better. Am I good underneath me?
Yep.
got some noise going on in there. A lot quieter than it was. And I'm glad the hydraulics got quieter. But old Allie. There it goes. Cleaned up pretty good. I guess the real test is we'll throw the mower on it and we'll take it for a lap and see how she does. So, got the mower thrown back on the back. We're gonna go take it for a lap around the field and see how she does. Definitely still got some like drivetrain whine, but maybe that's just normal for these. I don't know. But yeah, go take her for a quick lap with the mower and see how she does. Definitely still some gear noise, but nowhere near as loud as it was. So I think we're in pretty good shape. So I think that's all we got for this old girl right now. We're gonna keep mowing this field so it doesn't look like I'm in the business of making hay. But yeah, I think we'll probably won't see a ton much more of this thing for a little while. It's just gonna be workhorse around the farm for a bit, and then probably the next tractor kind of video hopefully we'll be seeing is when I replace my John Deere 790 that's sitting up with a for sale sign at the top of my field right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, plans for this thing will be probably over the winter, doing a bit more of a reseal and not quite a restoration, but taking the thing down quite a bit further than we did and giving it a good refresh. So stay tuned for that. But thanks for watching.